Best Cricket Reviews.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Best Cricket Reviews. I'm your host, TMC Tam1, Tanveer Syed, Tan Tiger01, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Twitter at Tan Tiger01, Twitch at MC Tam1, follow me on Instagram as well, and hit that bell notification button. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019 has officially gotten underway, and we have our first match to talk about: England versus South Africa. Yes, I stayed up all morning taking down notes for this match. Yes, 8-hour affair. Yes. So highlights. South Africa won the toss and elected to field first. Steyn, Morris, Miller, and Tabraiz Shamsi out. For England, Mark Wood was amongst those who were out. So Morgan was playing his 200 game, and it was, I guess, a nice touch to see Prince Harry open up the games, and I don't know how this did not get booed. Apparently, Theresa May might have been watching the match as well, or at least, you know, her name came up in the commentary. If she was present right there, I would presume she would be booed out of the entire stadium. So England were in their 1992 baby bluish World Cup looking kit. So for England, Johnny Bairstow and Jason Roy to open. Imran Tahir, surprisingly enough, to open for South Africa. .2 overs. And the plan absolutely worked. The first ball Johnny Bairstow faces. Go for a forward defensive push. Imran Tahir gives the ball enough flight, and there's just a little bit of grip and zip. Catches the outside edge. Beautiful catch by Quinton de Kock to get Johnny Bairstow out for a golden duck. England 1 for 1 at this point. Joe Root was the new man in. So after one, England were 1 for 1. Brilliant over by Imran Tahir. Lungi Ngiri to open with Tahir. So after 2, England were 7 for 1. There was a bad ball in that over, and this is one thing that worried me about Lungi Ngiri, his inexperience. Because here's what happens, when you're a fast bowler, you tend to be a little inexperienced. You tend to try to psychologically put the effort to get wickets without waiting for it too much. So in that effort, you quickly, like much quicker than experienced bowlers, you quickly resort to trying to buy a wicket. When I mean buy a wicket, I mean, like, you know, entice the batsman into playing a bad shot by bowling something that looks like a bad delivery, but, you know, is a bad delivery with a bit of variation. All right, but class batsmen don't usually fall for that. So after 3, England were 11 for 1, and England were going for their shots. If you notice, like, they were trying to, like, pull out the, big pulls and hooks and the booming drives and whatnot, and the hoiks going straight to the fielders, or Imran Tahir was beating them. So after 3, 11 for 1. Okay, and by the way, Willow Cricket had a little bit of issues, especially in the first innings. They, they could not time their commercial breaks properly, and for some reason the Sling TV app it started to crash a few times as well. So after 4, England 16 for 1. Another bad ball in that over put past the leg side boundary. Okay, after 5, England 29 for 1. There are a few bad deliveries in that. Here's the thing with England. You cannot bowl any bad deliveries because they are trained to just wait for the bad delivery and put it away. I'm not saying they did it perfectly in this innings, though. There were a bunch of full tosses that went for nothing or next to nothing. So after 5 29 for 1, after 6, after 6 39 for 1, because at this point now the runs are starting to come easily enough. Kagiso Rabada to bowl the 7th. Okay. After 7, 43 for 1. And that's a good over from Rabada. Especially after getting hit for 4 in the first ball. You know, the last comeback deliveries were pretty good. After 8, 49.1. 8.2, England 50 were up. After 9, England 55 for 1. Dwayne Pretorius to bowl the 10th. Medium fast bowler or fast medium bowler. After 10, England 60 for 1. It's a good comeback over by South Africa. Roy went for a few shots there in that over, but maybe the lack of pace actually did him. And by this time, you could start to figure out there was something in it for the bowlers in this pitch. So we get to our second power play. After 11, 68 for 1. After 12, 72 for 1. So there was a mostly good over from Dwayne Pretorius in that over. After 13, 79 for 1. After 14, after 14, 83 for 1. So notice, up to 13, the run rate was just above 6. After 14, it finally dipped after a few overs below 6. Okay, and Andel Pehlakoyo to bowl the 15th. After 15, 87. After 17, after 15, 87 for 1. Good stuff from Pehlakoyo. Okay. Okay, so at the end of the 16, Jason Roy gets to well played 50 and England get to their 100 as well. So, you know, run rate is now maintained below 5. And there were a lot of cutters and a lot of slower balls bowled in this entire innings. Oh, sorry, my bad. No, actually, even the commentator is bad. That was actually a leg by, so. Okay. So 17.3 this time Roy you know he played the thing with it a drive to a cover extra cover and finally gets to 50. 17.6 Root also gets to 50. So 18.4 Pehlakoyo bowls one short. And perhaps with that lack of pace, because Jason Roy, he was getting frustrated. He was getting very, very frustrated. Play and miss, play and miss, play and miss. The lack of pace did him. Roy scooped one up in the air. And he gets caught for 54. 107 for 2, England. Owen Morgan, the new man in. And Rabada comes back in, I believe, to bowl the 19. 19.1. First ball of his comeback over. Joe Root like basically just lobs one to straight to the hands of Point. He's gone for 51. England 111 for 3. Stokes the new man in. After 12, England were 112 for 3. I'm like, Kagiso Rabada is bowling with super hot fire, man. Tahir to bowl the 24th. I'm like, maybe give Pehlakoyo another over. because he just got a wicket in the last over. Okay, so this continued and uh, Lungi and Giri to bowl the 24th and JP Dumini to bowl the 25th with his part-time off spin. So, so after 25, England 135 for 3. Run rate was at 5.4, and this should have told you England were a bit strangled by South Africa. Okay, 26.2, however, England 150 up, and Owen Morgan was starting to get some momentum. Uh, Aiden Markram were to bowl the 28th. I'm like, wait a minute. You're gonna have Markram bowl? Maybe you should have bowled. You should have played Tabraiz Shamsi, maybe. Tahir to bowl the 29th again. So, so after, so after 30, England were 174-3. So the run rate was still below 6. So I would say South Africa, given England's current form, did not do that badly. Pelakoy to bowl the 31st. So, 32.3. Owen Morgan mistimed the short ball, and gets it past the boundary for 4. He consolidated the innings well after those 2 quick wickets fell. So well played. So Pretorius to bowl the 34th. So at the end of 34, England went 192 for 3, still under 6 runs, and over. So South Africa were still in this, by the way. So 34.5, England 200 were up. After 35, England were 200 for 3, so still below 6 runs and over. Kudos to South Africa, their field placements were good because so many balls you saw they were getting drive and they're getting driven and they're getting cut and they're getting pulled straight to the fielders. .5, Ben Stokes also get to 50 of 45 balls. Tahir to bowl the 37. 36.5, and what a catch by Markram. However, that would not be the best we have seen today. So Morgan tried to go for a big shot. His bat turned in his hand slightly. He goes for 57. England 217 for 4. Joss Butler, the new man in. Rabada to bowl 38. And Lungi Ngiri to bowl the 40th. I'm like, didn't he just bring Rabada in? Okay, maybe you're saving him for the last 10. So after 40, England 235 for 4. South Africa were starting to slightly lose the plot. It seems like they were letting the foot off the gas pedal in terms of applying pressure just a little bit. They're just starting to soften up the pressure. And England were well set for a 300 plus total. So we get to our final power play. So after 41, England 246 for 4. So spot on at 6 runs and over right here. 41.2. Yet another slower ball. Lungi Ngiri done very well. Joss Butler chops it onto leg stump. Like he goes for 18. England 247 for 5. So they got the big wicket of Joss Butler, who's a finisher. Good stuff. Moem Ali, new man in. So 41.5, England 250 were up. So after 42, England 250 for 5. Very good over by Lungi Ngiri. After 43, England 257. Tahir ends with 2 wickets for 61 runs. And at this point, I said maybe I'd bring back Markram because this pitch has some grip and bounce about it. Maybe take the pace even more out of the pitch so that the batsman has even less to work with. It frustrates the batsman even that much more. So 43.6, Lungingiri gets another wicket. He kept frustrating and frustrating and frustrating the batsman with slower ball after slower ball after slower ball. So finally, Moeen Ali goes. He gets caught in the deep. England, I believe, 260 for 6. So that was the score after 44 in 260 for 6. Chris Woakes a new man in. And for me, I said, I put down, this is some awesome death bowling so far. The variations of pace, the line and length. A bit too many wides though. Maybe work on that. Okay, Pehlakoy to bowl the 45th. After 45, 265 for 6, England. And for me, like, now or never for England. Rate now is below 6 again, so Stokes is in, he has to go big. Rabada to bowl 46th. After 46, 275 for 6, so good 10 run over there. Pehlakoy to bowl the 47th. Okay, after 47, England 284 for 6, a bit too many wides in that over. Rabada to bowl the 48. 47.1, South Africa LBW review against Stokes, left-handed batsman. The ball was clearly pitching outside leg, so South Africa lose the review. 47.3, Rabada gets a wicket. Chris Woakes was struggling for timing all innings, so like his short innings. He goes for 13. England 285 for 7. I think Woakes was caught around the deep mid-wicket region. Liam Plunkett, the new man in. After 48, England 294 for 7. Lungingiri to bowl 49th. 48.4. England finally scampered through to 300. You would think with a team like England they would have gotten there sooner, instead of with just 8 balls remaining. 48.6. Stokes tries to basically guide one above the third man region, above the short third man region, but could not get it past Hashim Amla, I believe. England 300 for 8. Stokes went for a very well played 89. So that was the score after 49. So Jofra Archer was the new man in, and Rabada to bowl the 50th. After 50th, England 311 for 8. So overall, I would say from 235 to 311, I would say in context of how good England is, very good death bowling by South Africa. This is, however, this is, given this pitch, this was a decent total. This is not a bad total by any means. Even in the context of England's current form, given this pitch, this was a decent total. England were clearly shell-shocked a little bit by that quick wicket of Johnny Bairstow and those 2 quick wickets of Jason Roy and Joe Root. But they did well enough to consolidate. Kudos to Ben Stokes, and kudos to the South African bowlers as well. However, something told me the spinners are going to be quite effective in this match. So we get to the South Africa innings. Alright, so moving on to the South Africa innings. Sorry about that, a bit of a hiccup. Now, I actually had to go and run errand real quick, which took a bit longer than expected. I actually had to go sign a contract. So I came back after 3 overs were gone. Okay, Geoffrey Archer was bowling the fourth, South Africa 10 for 0. 3.3. Geoffrey Archer bowls a bouncer. It crashes into Hashim Amla's helmet, and he goes off with a concussion. Markram replacing him. Sorry, I think that was 3.5. After 4, 14 for 0, South Africa. Wilkes to bowl the fifth. After 5.22 for 0. After 6.26 for 0. So they're going decently enough. After 7.31 for 0. So 7.4, Geoffrey Archer comes in with that slim build and with that very tight wicket to wicket line, with that really fast pace. He gets him caught at slip. He got Aiden Markram caught at slip. He goes for 11. South Africa 36 for 1. So after 8 or 40 for 1, I believe, Faf du Plessis new man in. After 9.43 for 1. 9.3. I don't know what Faf du Plessis was doing. This is kind of throwing his wicket away type of deal. 9.3. Once again, extra pace and bounce. He got it caught in the deep. Caught him in the deep square leg. 149 kilometers per hour. Faf du Plessis gone for 5. South Africa 44 for 2. So right here, you could see that the nerves started to get the best of Faf du Plessis, especially the type of shot he played to get out. So Rassie something, the new man in. After 10, South Africa 44 for 2. Geoffrey Archer was, if Rabada was bowling super hot fire, Geoffrey Archer was bowling mega hot fire. He made this power play belong to England with those 2 wickets. So we get to a power play 2. Adil Rashid to bowl the 11th. 10.5. The ball hits the wickets. I believe it came off the bat or something. It hits the wickets hard, but the bails don't dislodge and the ball goes to the boundary. So technically, it's not out. Unlucky, man. Unlucky. South Africa 50 up as well. So after 11, South Africa 51 for 2. Moeen Ali to bowl the 12th. After 12, South Africa 62 for 2, and Quinton de Kock finally hits the 6 in that over. After 13, 66 for 2. 13.4 drop catch by Butler. 13.6 ball goes through Josh Butler's legs. So I want to say England were perfect in the field. After 14, 71 for 2. And now you learned and you saw that this pitch is starting to have some good grip and turn, and this is why I said maybe in hindsight fielding first was not the right decision, because the pitch is going to get better for bowling anyways. So maybe the right decision would have been to bat first. After 15, 74 for 2, and England were squeezing South Africa to submission. The run rate was climbing higher and higher. After 17, South Africa 86 for 2. 17.5, Quinton de Kock gets to the 50. And I said, if South Africa have to win, QDK has to go big. Plunkett to bowl the 19th. After 20, 90, after 20, South Africa 97 for 2. Now here's the thing. Have you seen the some of the highlights of or some of the I would say focus points? Hold on. Some focus points in the England Bangladesh match. They showed a good angle of the Bangladeshi batsmen, how they're using their feet very well to the spinners, especially towards the beginning and the middle overs. Once the pressure started to build, then they stopped doing that, and that's when they got out. But before that, no, they were not getting out. Before the pressure was built. Before pressure built, yeah. So 20.1, South Africa 100 up. So 22.6, Plunkett gets the wicket of the one man who, from a South African perspective, could not have afforded to lose his wicket if they had to win this match. Got caught in deep fine leg. Got him for 68. QDK. South Africa 129 for 3. Dumini, the new man in. After 35, 137 for 3 after 25. So England were totally dominating here. 25.5. JP Dumini tried to go a bit wide of a fielder, but he hit a ball straight to the fielder. So he also threw his wicket away. Caught by Stokes, gone for 8. South Africa 142 for 4. Dwayne Pretorius, the new man in. 26.2. South Africa choke again. Again they choke. There was a run out of Dwayne Pretorius. Pretorius gone for 1. 144 for 5. And the run out was caused by who? Ben Stokes. Okay, Pehlakwayo, the new man in. And by the end of the 27th, I'm like, wait a minute, isn't there an update on Hashim Amla? So at the end of the 27th over, or the 28th over, South Africa 150 were up. Rashid, Adil Rashid to bowl the 29th. After 30, okay. After 30, South Africa 166 for 5. The last glimmer of hope was Rathi Van something and a returning Amla. 30.4. Rathi gets to 50. I think 5th in 9 matches or something. Now he has to score faster and score bigger. So 30.5, Rashid, Adil Rashid review for an LBW against Pehlakwayo is given not out. The ball was clearly pitching outside leg. So I'm thinking, what were the bowler and keeper thinking? Jafra Archer, mega hot fire to bowl the 32nd. 31.5. Rathi surprised by the pace and bounce, lobs one straight to mid-on. He's gone for 50. South Africa 167 for 6. So choke. Hashim Amla returns. So after 34 in drinks, South Africa won, I think, 180 for 6. South Africa, I said, you know what, they're just delaying the inevitable. Okay. Then the apps, this moment summed up England's performance today. And England's mindset in this World Cup. 34.1. What a fantastic catch by Ben Stokes. Absolute fantastic catch. One of the best catches you will see of all time. One of the best of all time. You should have seen how the crowd reacted, man. Pelaqueo gone off the bowling of Adil Rashid. This was Ben Stokes, man. This was Ben Stokes getting the wicket. Majority work by Ben Stokes, and Adil Rashid just fed the ball to the batsman. Uh, Pelaqueo gone for 24. South Africa 180 for 7, man. Man, hats off to you, man. Hats off to Ben Stokes, man. Performances like that will get you closer and closer to Flintoff. You're not close yet, but it's a step in the right direction. Rabada Newman in. After 35, South Africa 182 for 7, and the chokers keep choking. That's what I wrote. Stokes to bowl the 36. Plunkett to bowl 37. Okay, 38.1. Plunkett gets Amla to get a faint edge down leg side, and easy catch to Josh Butler. Amla for 13. South Africa 193 for 8. Lungi and Giri the new man in. South Africa 200 up in 39.1. 39.4. Rabada goes. Stokes for first wicket. Caught in deep square leg. He goes for 11. South Africa 207 for 9. And Imran Tahir the next man in. The last man in. And the very next ball, Ben Stokes gets a wicket. He gets Tahir out first ball. He goes for a golden duck. And England win this match by 104 runs. Ben Stokes, your obvious man of the match. Okay. South Africa, they even, in the press conference, or in the post-match presentation, they even look confused with their team selection. For me, I have a feeling they clearly thought this pitch is not going to have that much in it for the spinners. That's why they did not play Tahir and Shamsi. Also, if they're going to go with Aiden Markram was bowling tightly enough. They should have continued with him a few more overs and whatnot. And South Africa were clearly startled by Jofra Archer. Not much Chris Wokes, but much more by mega hot fire Jofra Archer. And on top of that, the pressure he built, the pressure Liam Plunkett built also to an extent. Okay, and given that the pitches had something in it for the spinners, Imran Tahir exploited that. Adil Rashid exploited that well enough. Moeen Ali also exploited that well enough. Because notice, he was actually, if he did not get turned, he was getting a lot of zip. So he was bowling a lot of those arm deliveries, those arm balls, those top spinners. That was what was actually beating the batsman. And taking a note out of South Africa's playbook, England were also bowling a good amount of cutters. But, man, what a performer Jofra Archer, man. What a talent they have found. And what a talent West Indies have lost. In this pitch, Jofra Archer is getting pace at 149, 150. In this pitch where, you have bite for the spinners. Not pure concrete type of pacey pitch. Imagine what he's going to do in a pitch that does not have the ball sticking to it, and does not come to the bat. Does not have the ball come to the bat a bit late. Imagine what's going to happen when Jofra Archer bowls in a almost concrete type of pitch, where there's just pace and bounce. That's it. There is almost nothing in it from the pitch. Okay. And as South Africa were losing, and losing and losing. My thought were, holy crap, Bangladesh are gonna get it. They're gonna get it hard because South Africa is now looking at Bangladesh like a starving lion. Like a starving lion looks at a goat. Like, you're dead. You're dead meat, goat. But if Bangladesh are going to play on this type of a surface, Bangladeshi bowlers are going to get a good amount of purchase because Bangladeshi bowlers generally tend to get much more of the pitch than they do in the air. Mustafizur Rahman is going to be effective. Mashrafi Motaz is going to be effective. Rubul Hussain, I don't know. Shakibul Hasan has a potential of being effective. Mehdi Miraz also has the potential of being effective. The question then becomes, will they bowl accurate line and lengths to exploit the conditions in this pitch well enough for them to be effective? If they bowl erratic line and lengths, then no matter how much there is in the pitch, it doesn't matter. They're never going to be effective. Also, both teams' ground fielding and air fielding was very good, but England had better air fielding, especially Ben Stokes. Field placements were good, but in the end, I'm sorry, South Africa just choked. Generally, they choke towards the latter half of a tournament. Right now, they're choking at the very beginning of a tournament. This cannot be more emphasized than by the fact that they lost before 40 overs were bowled, over 10 overs remaining. Okay, so that's about it for this episode of Best Cricket Reviews. Make sure to hit that like button and especially hit that subscribe and bell notification buttons. Leave your comments in the comment section below on what you thought about this match. It's your boy, the MC Time One Visa, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.